It's podcast time. This is Chris Hodge, the Taking Vegas podcast. It is Tuesday, September 5th. Hope everyone enjoyed the holiday weekend. Boy, Clemson sucks. Man, how bad were they last night? Fumbles all over the place. Losing to Duke. Someone lost to Duke by 21 in football. Like, no one ever said that ever. Usually you lose to Duke in basketball. That's a terrible loss for Clemson on Monday night. Florida State, LSU, Sunday night. Great game to watch. FSU pulls away there in the second half. For everyone who listened to Sports Investors Daily and gave us a call on Saturday, we won with Fresno State plus the points. And on the money line, that was our false favorite. So lots to talk about of the week coming up. Excited to do so here on the Taking Vegas podcast. Again, I'm Chris Hodge. Now, obviously, this is a sports podcast, and we try to keep it as such. But every now and again, I kind of, just for a couple minutes, I veer off the path if I feel things are going on, you know, in our everyday life, and just to talk to people out there who might be listening to me. So one thing that I came across, I had to pick my wife up from the airport on Sunday night. And as I was making my trek to go get this lady from LaGuardia Airport in Queens, I realized how much I hate driving. There are some bad drivers out there. I don't know where you guys are throughout the country. I don't know if you're experiencing this issue as well, but some of the driving that takes place, I mean, guy in the left lane going 47 miles per hour as my producer looks over. What the hell is he doing? What? First of all, why is he even operating an automobile? Number one. Number two, why is he going in the same direction as me? Why am I that unlucky? Number three, why is that guy in the left lane? Number four, how come that guy hasn't been killed yet? I don't understand. How has that guy survived on the road? It doesn't make sense. Some of the driving that's going on. Now, look, I know we live in the United States of America, so we let everyone into this country. I get it. I don't have to agree with it. But do we have to give these people licenses too? I don't get it. Does everyone have to drive? It's so bad. It's so bad. I almost want to put a jetpack on my back, press a button, go up into the air. I mean, if I crash, so be it. But that's how bad driving is. I used to enjoy driving. I don't know if you guys out there feel the same way. I don't know if you're in a more dense area, probably not than New York City. You're probably in a less dense area, but this traffic is so bad. So that's Chris's vent. Just venting, getting off some steam. Saturday was a lot of fun. We weren't on this game either which way, the Colorado TCU game. Now, this game has been spoken about all over the place, so I don't need to really, go over it again. But I will say this. I'm happy to see that Deion Sanders won that game. I'm a fan of Deion Sanders. I think Deion is doing it the right way. Now, he caught a lot of flack because his first meeting, he basically told a team that went 1-11, get the hell out. Basically, that's what he did. And look, can you blame the guy? They went 1-11 last year. So how good could those players have been? Can't just all be coaching. So Deion went in. Guy's a Hall of Famer, one of the best defensive backs, if not the best defensive back to ever do it. Who are we to question? This guy knows football. He went in and got his players. And look what they go do. They just go beat TCU, who played in the national championship game last year, although I don't believe TCU should have even been in the playoff last year. I had that argument. I don't know how they got in over Alabama, but that's just they put them in. Whatever, fine, okay. And they got pasted by Georgia, which everyone in the world knew was going to happen. Now they just got, beat up by Colorado. But you know what? I was telling my wife this. I don't know if you guys out there agree with this or not, but I was telling my wife this. I have 3 children. I have 3 sons, none of which play football. They all play other sports. But if my sons were good enough at football to go Division I would want to send them to play for Deion Sanders. I really would. I loved what he did when he was at Jackson State, not just from a football perspective. Everyone gets caught up in that, the wins and losses. Everyone gets caught up in that. What you don't hear people talk about is developing young men to be successful in life outside of football. Because even at Colorado, no matter how good they may or may not be, maybe 10 to 15 of those players maybe will play in the NFL. Maybe. Okay? The other 70, 75 players that are on scholarship have to earn a living in some other walk of life. And I love what Dion did when he was at Jackson State. He brought that girl, Brittany Renner, in, that Instagram model. And she was talking about, hey, listen, be careful of, the girls out there that might just be with you for fame or fortune. Like, this guy gets it. Not just from a football perspective. Yes, he is paid to win games. We get that. But he also knows that he is there to set young men up to succeed in their lives. And that is the type of coach that I would want my sons to play for. So I wish them well. It was a very entertaining game. They got Nebraska on deck. They're a 2.5-point favorite over Nebraska this week. Nebraska just figures out ways to lose games. They really do. They create ways. Nebraska creates ways to lose games. The way they lost the other night to Minnesota, they made it up. They made it up. They said, we're winning another game. Let's screw it up. That's what Nebraska does. But lots of hype going on in Colorado, as it should be. There's some great stories there, and I really wish them well. So it is Tuesday here. I'm going to give out an early free pick. This game is on Saturday. Now, this line is moving, and it should be moving, and it's moving in the right direction because the number they opened the game at was absolutely stupid, and the number still might be stupid. But if you look at this Ole Miss-Tulane game, I believe this game is going to sail over the posted points spread. Now, Tuesday, as I'm doing this podcast, I'm recording at 1:18 Eastern time. The total is 64.5. It opened at 59.5. That was the real early line. It's up to 64.5. Ole Miss is going to score points. They got talent all over the field. Tulane, not as good offensively, but Ole Miss not as great defensively, even though they only gave up 7 points last week. Tulane should get their points at home. Ole Miss is going to get their points because they're Ole Miss and they love to score. And I think this number is too low. Remember, for the last 2 weeks, the over I gave you was the USC game. In week 1, USC, San Jose State, well, week 0, because college football, week 0, gave you over in that game. Last week gave you over USC, Nevada, going over Ole Miss, Tulane for free. Really think that's going to be an easy one. But it is Tuesday. We're going to have more stuff as the week goes on. We had Sports Investors Daily kickoff last Saturday. Now, we get to this week. We're on Saturday and Sunday. We're on right through the end of March Madness with these shows, and cannot be more excited. Just to give you some background on this, I've hosted the Sports Investors Daily radio show since 2006. So this is my 18th season doing it. And a lot of people in my industry catch a lot of flack, and sometimes rightfully so, because a lot of people in my industry don't do things the right way. Right? It's like, I say this to everyone, it's any other walk of life. There are good doctors, there are bad doctors, there are good lawyers, there are bad lawyers, there are good wives, there are bad wives. It is what it is, right? It's just the world we live in. So in my profession, there are good handicappers who do things the right way, and there are bad handicappers that do things the wrong way. I like to believe that the success that we've had, not just from doing the radio show, but also in the games we've released, we're one of the good guys. I could say that with much confidence, and we've done this since 2006, so you can check out Sports Investors Daily every Saturday and Sunday morning. Check your local listings. You could also visit takingvegas.com. We have some great things going there, free pick articles all week long. We have 6 really talented handicappers that are doing a phenomenal job. They got off to a great start. Last week we got lines, injury reports, the whole 9 yards at takingvegas.com. And most importantly, when I do this podcast, I really want to make it entertaining for people out there and try my best to do as such. As we get going, look, I was watching LSU and FSU play, and I just thought, like the guy, Brian Kelly, like I tell you, man, I don't know how this guy got $90 million. Now, a lot of you out there are going to point to his overall record. Fine, okay, whatever. His overall record is good. You got me. Go look at what he's done in big games. Not only does he lose big games, like conference championships or bowl games or what have you, or BCS title games, he gets annihilated. It's like they're not even prepared to play. And that goes all the way back to when Cincinnati was undefeated and they played Florida, and I believe Tim Tebow's last game, and they lost by 1,000. And just fast forward 13 or 14 years, he plays FSU on opening night. It's a big game. And he finds a way to screw that game up, and they get blasted in the second half. I don't know how a guy like this gets $90 million. I really don't. Hell, give me $90 million. I could show up in a big game and lose by 30 every time I do so. Are you kidding me? Every big game this guy coaches. No one cares that on September 28th, you go play Mississippi State and win a game. No one cares. Or when you're at Notre Dame and you go pace Navy. No one cares. Right? That's expected. But go look them up. Go look up bowl games that were important. Go look at CFP playoffs. Go look at BCS national title games. Go look at all those. Destroyed. Not lose 24-21 and had every shot to win. Lose 51-24. Lose 30-3. Lose 45-24 like he does the other night to FSU. Coaches like this really annoy me. They really do. They really annoy me because he's at Notre Dame. Now, that guy's allowed to leave and go coach LSU. Okay, it's the United States. It's capitalism. They offered him more money. He wanted to coach in the SEC. No problem. Leave. Then turn around and have the balls and the utter audacity to get mad at players when they try to do the same thing who aren't making $90 million. 18-year-old kid makes a mistake, wants to transfer. You break his balls? Really? No one comes to watch the coaches. I don't know if these guys got it through their head. No one comes to watch the coaches. There is not one college football fan in the history of the world who ever paid to watch a coach. Not one. I have never turned on a TV to watch a coach. I have never gone to a game to watch a coach. I can care less. And coaches are only good when they have good players. Go look at what Urban Meyer did when he was at Jacksonville, when he had to outcoach people. He didn't even make it to week 14. Okay? But he gets the greatest players in college football and he wins games, right? Overrated. So this guy, Brian Kelly, to me, overrated coach. This guy, Deion Sanders, great coach. Doing things the right way. I would love nothing more than for Colorado to be in the national title picture this year. What a up the ass that would be for coaches out there. Because Deion's doing it right, in my opinion. But we'll see. Long season to go. Gave you guys a free pick here. Over 64.5. Ole Miss, Tulane. I'm going to do another podcast later in the week as we get closer to the NFL season kicking off. Nothing on Kansas City and Detroit on Thursday. Not going to have a free pick on that on this podcast, but I will have a free pick for Sunday. Probably do a podcast here on Thursday or Friday. And until then, enjoy the free pick winner, over 64.5, Ole Miss, Tulane. And be sure to visit takingvegas.com and listen to Sports Investors Daily every Saturday and Sunday. Chris Hodge here, signing off. Have a great day, everyone.